and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be reviewing the soundtrack for the new live-action Disney classic, Beauty and the Beast. Before we get started, I want to remind you that this is simply my opinion on this soundtrack. We all have different thoughts on it, and I would gladly read yours in the comment section down below. Now that I have finally seen the movie, it's time to talk about the soundtrack. Beauty and the Beast is one of my favorite animated movies from Disney, and when the movie came out, I was not born, but I remember being a little kid and watching it over and over again. Of course, I saw it in French for the majority of my life because I was born French and didn't speak English until I was 18. But I think no matter what language the movie is in, it definitely had some iconic songs that are hard to forget. So obviously this movie keeps those iconic songs like Beauty and the Beast during the ballroom scene. It's pretty much the same song with a different actress singing. However, there are some nice changes, like for example on Gaston. I feel there's a lot more extravagance and it added to the song a lot more because it made it more ridiculous and it just fit better for the characters of Gaston and Le Fou. Also, there are new songs. One is How Does a Moment Last Forever, which I ended up loving a lot, even the Celine Dion version. And I'm usually not a fan of her voice, but here it worked quite well. The song carries a lot of emotion, especially for the character of Belle, and I felt it worked incredibly well and never felt too much. Another song that was created especially for this live-action adaptation is Evermore for Beast himself, and I loved it. Again, it gives so much more depth to the character and it didn't distract me at all while I was watching it. The one thing, however, that did bother me a little bit is that Beast voice sounds a bit robotic at times, and I would love to hear the version with Dan Stevens' voice that hasn't been modified, because he truly surprised me by how good his singing was in this song. I have to talk about Emma Watson as well. I thought her singing was excellent. It definitely doesn't reach Paige O'Hara levels of singing, but I felt that her way of singing is a bit more accessible if, like me, you enjoy singing, but definitely don't have an opera-like voice. So I loved hearing her voice and I think she did really well every time she had to sing. There are also 3 songs that were added to promote the movie. So we have, like I said before, the Celine Dion version of How Does a Moment Last Forever, which I loved so much. But we also get Josh Groban to sing his own version of Evermore, which I thought worked great as well. He definitely has more pipes than Dan Stevens, but I think both did an incredible job on this. And of course, there's the version of Beauty and the Beast by Ariana Grande and John Legend, which I enjoyed a lot as well. I'm not the biggest fan of both singers, but I felt they did quite justice to the song, while still being different enough to make it stand out. Now, outside of the songs, we also have the soundtrack by Alan Menken, who did the soundtrack for the animated as well. And he did great again. I felt that for this movie he added more extravagant additions, like the accordion is a lot more present than I remember, and the harpsichord as well. It sometimes felt a bit too much, like it was really resting on French stereotypes, as if we all own an accordion somehow. But still, I think this soundtrack goes beyond what we had with the animated to be more present, and I enjoyed it a lot. So in the end, I loved the soundtrack. I am playing the songs over and over again ever since I saw the movie, and I like the fact that they tried to add more to make a difference from the original. And that's why I gave it 4.5 stars. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to tell me what you think of this soundtrack down below, and I'll see you next time.